Matches 7 and 8 of the Neo Egoist League matchups are now set. Although Bastard Munchin is sitting this round of matches out, sparks fly as the egoists from the remaining 4 teams clash against one another. Spain is going against France and England is going against Italy. We go to the German stratum as we see the egoists on the training field. They've realized that they are the ones sitting out for this round. Hiyori tells them that while the other teams battle each other, we use this time to train and level up, which they would desperately need after seeing Rin's current form. Their final match is going to be against PXG, and after that, the Neo Egoist League will end. Their match against PXG is their last chance to show their worth. Gagamaru looks kind of scared after Hiyori said that. Reichi doesn't get why his value is lower than Hiyori's. Well, maybe that's because he has been one of the leading figures in scoring that final goal. He tells them that he's not pissed at all, though. Hiyori tells him that despite what he's saying, he looks oddly satisfied with himself. Corona tells him that he can't hide the fact that he's super hyped that he got an offer. Yukimiya tells Hiyori that his assist to Isagi was absolutely sick, and therefore asks him if something has happened. Hiyori tells him that he's finally bought into the blue lock mentality. He wants to produce the world's strongest striker. He wants to play football alongside players who can understand his passes. Ever since he's got this mentality, he'll discard an A player who is too stupid to understand his passes. Yukimiya got scared because of Hiyori's words and tells him that just now he sounded just like Itoshi Sai. Isagi tells him despite that cool persona, deep down this guy is an ultra sadist. Reichi tells Hiyori that he's going to be playing as a playmaker now. Guess that means you're dead as a striker. Hiyori doesn't seem to care, though, as he tells them that at least he's not getting roasted on social media like Isagi. Isagi doesn't understand why it's happening, though. So Hiyori shows them some comments from their match against Ubers. One comment says, "Isagiyoichi is the future of Bastard Munchin." And another says that Bastard Munchin's best future front line would be Michaelkaiser and Isagi coexisting together, even though they're still immature and constantly fighting getting in each other's way. If those two manage to understand and sync up with each other, they can potentially become the MSOT lethal striker duo on the face of this planet. Isagi doesn't subscribe to that idea, though, as he starts to completely rage, telling them that there's no possible way that it's ever going to happen. Reichi can't hold his laugh in as he tells Isagi that they've got a point and that those two are good buddies with each other. Isagi tells Reichi to shut up as it's never going to happen. That's so disgusting, he's rather die than team up with that piece of shit. Hayao tells Isagi to calm down and that Kaisagi is the trendiest topic on the Blue Lock Twitter page right now. He asks Isagi if he wants to hear more. One comment says that Isagi and Kaiser are the Neo Egoist League's best couple. But Isagi doesn't buy into any of that as he tells Hiyori to shut up and cut it out. Yukimiya looks kind of surprised that he hates that idea so much. But Reichi tells Yukimiya that he's just pretending that he hates Kaiser, but in secret, he's totally in love with him. Corona is going off somewhere else as he's going to do some individual training. Reichi thinks that Corona has got a point as he desires to level up and move up in the rankings more. Hiyori tells them that his auction value isn't at a level where he can kick back and relax. If they don't finish in the top 23, all their hard work would have been for nothing. So as a result, they all go off to do their individual training sessions. There's just one more match left. Suddenly, Igaguri walks up to Isagi wanting to talk to him, as Isagi says that all of them have their own goals and objectives. Isagi is willing to listen, telling him what's up. Igaguri tells him that he hasn't played in a match yet, which means that his value is still 0. So he asks Isagi what he needs to do to survive inside of the Neo Egoist League. Isagi looks surprised as Igaguri tells him that if he can't play in the next match, then he's completely finished. Even though he's trying his best, he just can't be able to catch up to the rest of them. He knows that he's got to force his way into the lineup, but everyone keeps getting bigger and bigger offers, which makes it difficult for Igaguri to stand out. So he asks Isagi for advice. I'll use this moment to quickly ask you guys that if you are liking my content so far and wish to support me, subscribe to the channel. Now back to the video. But Isagi doesn't really know what to tell him. Igaguri looks very concerned now as a result. Igaguri starts shaking Isagi, asking him to think some more. Isagi wants Igaguri to cut it out as he's thinking around, but he has nothing concrete to give to him. That's why he told that he has nothing. After Igaguri stopped shaking him, he wants Igaguri to recall what his reason for playing football is. So he tells Isagi that it's to avoid taking over his family's temple. Igaguri thinks that kind of reason compared to what Isagi and the rest are aiming to become, which is the best player in the world. His reason for playing football is inferior, so he thinks that maybe he needs to change his target to becoming the world's best. But Isagi thinks otherwise, telling him that his reason would be enough. He tells Igaguri that he and probably most people can only focus on and pursue achievable, realistic short-term goals. Igaguri looks surprised by what Isagi said, as Isagi tells Igaguri that he can't compare his goals with other people. Pursuing your goals to the fullest, that's the foundation of their ego, and that ego is unique only to you. He's telling Igaguri that not wanting to take over his family's temple is one heck of an ego he's got there, as he tells him to not lose sight of it. This is such a wholesome moment, to be honest. It has made my day. After Isagi said that he suddenly knows what he has to do now. Isagi looks surprised, as he hasn't even told him about his suggestions regarding training and stuff. But Igaguri thinks he's fine, and tells him that he'll think about what type of training would work well for him, and thanks Isagi. He tells him when they've met for the first time in that survival game of tag, he never thought he would become a player worth 100 million. He tells Isagi that he's absolutely amazing. Isagi is kind of surprised by Igaguri's attitude. Igaguri tells him that KE knows it because they've started at the bottom two, which are the 300th and 299th place. He hates to admit it, but he's definitely on the path to becoming the best pallier in the world. Igaguri asks Isagi he wants some takuan for old time's sake. But Isagi refuses to do that unless he wants that for his natto. But Igaguri passes on that. Now we cut off to the Germany stratum, their bluelockman system field, as we see someone hitting the ball hard. It's Kaiser Ibrahimovic who is training his shots there, shooting it into the right upper corner. That new look is very dope on him, as he tells himself that he came to the Neo-Egoist League to surpass Noel Noah, and that Bastard Munchen's first team is a squad designed to maximize Noah's strengths. With Noah crowned as the world's strongest forward, the chances of him stealing his spot as Bastard Munchen's ace striker is practically zero. That's why he wanted to use the Neo-Egoist League auction to secure a bigger offer from another club, which would force his way out of Bastard Munchen. He has achieved the first step of his plan, which was through getting an offer from Real Madrid. But there's no way in hell he can go home after losing to Isagi, as he fires another shot. Ness looks to him with a concerned look on his face, believing that Kaiser can do it. Even since that day, ever since that moment as he wallowed in that familiar sense of despair, Kaiser has showed up and thought him that there was no such thing as impossible. The next chapter will be a flashback that shows the beginning of their partnership together. To be continued in chapter 242, The Blue Rose and Tree Magician, Part 1. If you want to get closer to me, consider joining my private Discord community. But if not, watch this video next, egoists. I'm out. Peace.